All right, now that we get done with the coaching report and the coaching form, let's take a look at the rubric report and the rubric form. This is definitely one of my favorite things. So let's start with the rubric form. What is the rubric form? The rubric form allows a facilitator, and when I say facilitator, I mean like the teacher, the facilitator, an instructional coach, a support teacher, a visitor, or even an administrator to come in and just take a look at what's happening in the classroom. No, we are not evaluating the teachers. This is just a guide to help us move the classroom closer to becoming future ready. It has nothing to do with the teacher's file folder or evaluation system. It's really just to help us to keep progressing and keeping the vision of where we want to go in sight. All right, let me show you how great this is. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to pick my school. I'm going to pick my demo school and I'm going to pick Marsha Kish. And I'm going to also in here tell what time I actually went into the classroom. So if I just got done visiting the classroom, I could just go ahead and put it in. Oh, it's in at 6:30. Now I have the coach's view, a teacher's view, or a visitor's view. So I'm going to do this from the coach's view of the classroom. And what I do next is when I was in the classroom, I'm looking for these 10 key elements. I'm looking for the planning. Was the teacher using some differentiated instruction? Were they using a timer? Was everybody rotating? So when I was in my classroom, I noticed that I was doing differentiated instruction without a timer. I was using the data to advance or to regroup students. So I was seeing like, okay, what were some of my formative assessments that I was doing as a teacher, or some online programs that I might have been seeing. I was using the data that I was getting and I was determining which group of students needed what. What are they ready to learn next? My students were able to have their own individual plan. They looked at where they were and they could pick what they wanted to do next. And since I was differentiating, I had differentiated activities for each one of those students. My students have always had the ability to sit wherever they wanted to sit. Now sometimes I make area-specific ones, such as a place where they can kind of all collaborate and communicate and use their critical thinking skills, or a mini lesson. But there's always flexible seating. They can stand, they can sit, they can lay on the ground. In fact, some of my schools even have treadmills for the students to work on. So I have flexible seating options. There is no timer. They can move when they're ready. So because of some restrictions in my school, it's not mastery based, it's just move when ready. They automatically know, and I'm saying my students automatically know what to do next and how to progress to that next level. I'm giving a mini lesson 99% of the time. So that way when the students come back to me, they're working and learning at their own pace, place, and path. Sometimes I do walk around the classroom if other students need my help, but most of the time, 90% of the time, I'm working with students in a small group setting. My students are normally always engaged in my content. Sometimes they're a little bit deeper dives, but most of the time they're just kind of engaged and really getting into it. I definitely allow for 20% time. So in their checklist, the list of things that the students need to complete, they will have a time or a break to allow themselves to go and do 20% time activity. So it focuses on their passion. And I am definitely using data to drive my instruction and the content. And I have the ability to put in some notes. So I can say, oh, I visited the classroom, this is what I saw, it was a great day, man, Jeff was really acting up today, this was not the best, whatever you want, you can put in there. So now that my data form is complete, I can go over to my data rubric, and I can go in, and I can see exactly how did I score in my classroom for the day. So I pick the day, so here are all the dates that I have put a rubric in for. And so today, January 19th, I got 25 out of 30 points. That means I'm in a solid phase 2 working in towards a phase 3 environment. So they're different colors mean different things. Phase 1 is orange, purple is phase 2, green is phase 3. Now all of this is working towards creating that future ready environment and what that looks like. What we are doing now is we have level up strategies. So as an instructional coach, I can go in and help my teacher to continue to progress and move forward with developing those future ready learning environments. So one of the areas I would probably go into would probably be with engaging content. How do I get those kids to really be getting the deeper dives into the content? I also have the ability to email this report right to myself, right to my instructional coach, right to my teammate so that they can see where we are and we can continue to keep progressing forward. So, oops, sorry, I hit twice. So there is an example of the coaching form and the coaching rubric. All right, I'll do the next one. We'll be talking about the school coaching report and the school coaching rubric